So let's get started. Dixie Belle has a new line called Bells and Whistles where they have mesh stencils. I did a live on it last week. And then this week I'm going to do, this is the Morocco. They have 3 different ones. And this is one I'm going to use today. I have a long console table here. I know I'm in kind of close because I want to be able to angle it down so you can see. I'm not going to do the traditional stencil where I want, where it gives you the exact line. What I want to do is I want to create a subtle look. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to be using some of the Dixie Belle paint, and then I'm going to also be using the mousse. Have you heard of the mousse? The mousse is really cool. It comes with 4 colors right now. Eventually, they're coming out with 2. They're coming out with 2 other colors. So, first thing I did with my table, of course, I used the White Lightning cleaner. I got all the grime and grease off. It is a degreaser. You'll be amazed when you use this how much junk comes off of your furniture. All right. So after I did that, I gave it 2 coats of the cotton, the Dixie Belle cotton, which is the white. Shocker. I know a lot of you know that I don't use white a lot. Everybody else does, but I like color. Anywho, so I used cotton. And then for today, I'm going to use the mousse in gold and silver. So let's get started. So basically what I'm going to do, I just laid my stencil on here, and I want it to be a more of a distressed or not so prominent line. So I'm not even going to bother to tape it down. If I wanted clean, crisp lines, I would tape it down, make sure it didn't move. But it's just going to be soft and subtle. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. Let me go ahead and angle the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, excuse me. Boop. There we go. Okay, so first off, I'm going to take the Dixie Belle cotton, and I'm just simply going to put a layer on the stencil. And when I do this, I want to make sure I'm pouncing. I'm going up and down. If I go sideways, I'm going to get up underneath. So I'm just going to pounce, just giving it a light coat. I'm doing this because I don't want the mousse that I'm going to be putting on be so dark. I want it to be muted, I guess you could say. So I'm just kind of, I think this is either called stippling or pouncing. I'm using my Dixie Belle mini brush, which is my favorite, especially for flat surfaces. I have used the stencil before. I used it inside of a dresser with this same technique. I did some would you bend moldings and kind of muted the middle and used the amber mousse. Now the mousse is a newer product. It's really fun and it's great for adding some decorative metallic. The key to the mousse is to put it on very thin. If you put it on too thick, sometimes it is cranky when it has to dry. So make sure you're applying it thin. Okay, so almost done here with my first layer of cotton. Do you have to do this? Absolutely not. I just am doing it because I want muted mousse on my stencil. Put this aside. So you'll notice when you use the mousse that the silver, whoops, where's the camera, is really runny. And the gold is a little bit on the thicker side. And it's simply just because of the color and the consistency of what it needed to make this. So I'm going to use a blend of both. I really don't have a game plan. I'm just going to put some out and dab it on, and then hopefully get the look that I am going for. So I'm going to put some out here just because it's so thick and my big brush won't be able to get in the little container. And then I'm just going to pour a little bit out and hopefully not make a mess with my silver. Okay. So right there, you can see the difference of the consistency. See how thick the gold is and then how thin the silver is. All right. Let's get started. So I'm going to use my small my small oval. And I'm just going to get a little bit of the mousse on there, and I'm going to apply it to where I put the cotton in the same kind of motion, up, down, pounce, stipple, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to put it lighter in some areas and heavier in different areas because I want to get a different look. And I am just going here and there and mixing. I need to get a rag. As I'm doing this, the cotton is sticking to my brush. I'm just going to wipe it off. Make sure that I'm just getting gold on here. It is changing color just a little bit, but that's okay. I like it. It adds more of a, or more depth and more variety. So I've got gold as my first layer of the mousse, I should say, first layer of the mousse. Okay, so now I want to fan it out just a little bit. That just make it a little bit thinner on just on the outsides, just so it looks like it's slowly fading into my design. All right, now we're going to move to the silver, and I have, this is my medium, oval medium, and as you can tell, I use this brush a lot. This is a shout out to scrubby soap. If you don't have a scrubby soap, you need to get scrubby soap. That is the best way to clean your brush and to maintain the bristles to be nice and soft. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the gold with a little bit of the silver. Not a lot. You see the difference? I just want it to be light. Again, I don't want it to be where it's stark. I don't want it to be too bright. And if I decide when I put it on that I put it on too heavy in certain areas, all I need to do is take my sander and lightly sand some of it off. And you could add as many colors as you want. You don't even have to use the mousse. You can use paint. You can use whatever. All right, so now I have my silver on there. I think I need a little bit more gold. So I'm going to go back with just my brush, this little artist brush. See here, I just dabbed a little bit on. And I'm going to just touch a few areas. Just because I feel like it needs a little bit more gold. And I will be doing other things to this table, but for today, I just want to show you layering with the gemstone mousse on this stencil. I want to offset it just a little bit. Again, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just trying to make sure there's a little bit gold, whoops, a little bit gold here and a little bit silver there. I'm going to offset it, make sure there's no clumps. And another thing I can do, if I feel I went a little heavy and maybe the silver like over here, I can go back and take a little bit of my cotton from my brush and just go over it. You want to make sure you do all this before you lift up your stencil. Okay, well, it's that time. Let's reveal. Let me just make sure my hands are clean. Now remember, this is not going to be perfect. Especially the edges, I want it to fade off. And if it doesn't fade off, I'll just take a little bit of light sanding or add a little bit more cotton. So let's take a peek. Ooh, I like it. And this stencil is just clean with soap and water. Okay, so I can see, because I'm a little bit closer than y'all, I can see the different colors. And some of it's a little bit thicker. Let me see if I can get the camera a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about without making too much of a wreck here. Get my stuff out of the way. All right, let's pull it a little bit closer. Can you see that? Oops. So you should be able to see some of the detail in here, the different colors. And now, like I said, this is a long console table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the table in this technique. I'm going to add some other distressing and some dimension here. I might sand a little bit back because I want it to be a little bit less, I want it to look a little bit more faded, but you get the general idea of what I was going for. And another reason why I chose to stencil the top of this, normally I wouldn't, but this table had a lot of imperfections. So when I was painting it, you could see some of the veneer or the wood, it was uneven or there are scratches. So if you use this technique or a stencil, it kind of hides any flaws that you have on your piece, whether it's a dresser or whatever you're painting. Anyway, I'll take close-ups of the pictures and I'll post them. And then when I get the table finished, I will post them on the Facebook page also. Again, any questions, just put them in the comments. And silk is coming. You can pre-order on my website, pbvintage.com. And I will be going live next Tuesday with some other fun project. And then the end of January, the last 2 Mondays, I will be going live on the Dixie Belle page on Mondays at noon. All right. You guys take care and have a great day.